Hey folks, in today's video, I've got a 3-step DIY bike fit hack that we're going to show you in the studio that you're going to take outdoors into the big bad world. And you're going to go faster, I guarantee it. Well, faster than what you did the last time you were in your group. But when the wind is blowing and the rain is lashing, you will be quick. You'll be like a little snake cutting your way through that wind. And also in the video, I'll show you how to make one little tweak indoors that's going to give you more power when you're riding virtually with your so-called friends. I'm only joking. There are a few cyclists out there that have got friends, haven't they? Have you got friends on your phone? You don't need to, because I'm going to show you how to use your mobile phone to create a professional setup. No apps, no, just photographs. Oh yeah, because I'm going to introduce you to the jumbo and not limbo method. So if you've had a bike fit before from me, be quiet, watch the video, don't spoil it for others. Okay, first point we're going to talk about is the saddle height. I'm going to be real quick. I'm just going to give you a dead easy method to follow, because guess what? 99% of people have got their saddle too high. It's true. If you've got pressure on your groin, you've got saddle sores, you've got a numb ass, you've got numb bits, your saddle's too high. It's not necessarily the width of the saddle or the forearm, it's just too high and you've got to bring it down. But it doesn't feel right when I lower it down a little bit, coach. It's because you haven't got yourself used to it. Okay, so first of all, we'll need your phone. Now obviously, I've got this nice little special tool, but you've got a friend, haven't you? Well, you think you've got one. Just shout out the window and see if anyone will come. You can get somebody to hold your phone, you can borrow somebody else's phone, okay? You can prop it up, get it in a position where it can see your ass. Nobody else is going to see it, you're not going to be posting it online, so it doesn't matter how big your ass looks in it. You're also going to need a tape measure. Okay, that's the only tools you're going to need. You've got one of them lying around, okay? We'll put that up there. Now, no shoes, just the old-fashioned measure with socks on. So what we're going to do is climb on our bike and then we turn the camera on and we're going to video or take photographs of our position, ideally video, okay, because it's easier then to scroll for. You only need about 10 seconds and all you're going to do is get your foot into a position where it feels like the leg's extended. Don't have it until it's fully extended, okay? That's going to still be too much. What we want to do is get in a position whereby I can sit upright. Don't lean forward and grab the handlebars yet. No, you don't need to do that. What I want to do is to feel my pelvis in that position. It may take time. You may be moving up and down a little bit, and it's a little bit. It's not yanking the thing up and down, okay? I know what people do. If you came to my bike fit studio and you had to have the saddle move more than 20 millimeters, I'd be doing it in phases. So we're talking about 3, 4, 5 millimeters at a time. Caress your seat post, yeah, okay? Get jiggy with it, because what we want is the seat in a position where the pelvis is stable when I'm sitting upright like this. When I start to lean forward, holy crap, that's low, isn't it? That's the Orca 55. Oh my God. You want to be stable. You don't want to be bouncing around like fucking Beyonce at some festival, okay? Or some drunk 54-year-old at an 80s reunion party. I've never done that, have you? Now, I know I've got mine set up perfectly, okay? That's my height, right? So when I come to it with my shoes on, right, we don't need a knee extension, flexion, measurer, laser, or that. We feel it. But trust me, 99% of people are on a saddle too high. And it doesn't feel right because you haven't got used to it. You have to dial in. Please, don't have your saddle too high because it just screws up everything. Okay, let's talk about number 2. Point 2, we're going to go for reach. So I've got my blue tape on here. And this is my 120 millimeter point from the back. And this is where the pelvis comes to rest. Okay, no matter what saddle you've got. And we want to measure, for me, I always like to go to the hoods. So when I've got my bike perfectly set up, I get that measurement to the hood, because that's where I'm going to spend 80-85% of all rides when I'm out on a longer session. That's not going to matter to you yet, because we haven't got that size. But how do we get that size, coach? Well, that's why you're here. I'm going to show you that, okay? So this is where we go with the reach now. So my zombie approach. So your hand, heel of the hand is green light, good to go. Middle of the hand, that's amber. We're verging on a little bit difficult in reach. Top of the hand, bottom of the fingers and the fingers. Red light, you're dead. It just means danger. So we ride, nice and easy. We get into that, nice, easy. We've got none of this Beyonce, put a ring on it, shit going on. Pelvis is nice and stable. Rest, hands out, fall forward, boom. So in this reach for the 55, I'm fingers. Red light, I'm telling the guy in the shop, fuck off. Your bike is not for sale for me. You're trying to sell me a bike that's too big for me.
The height chart says that you should be a 55.
The height chart, my ass, okay? We've got to make sure that that reach is correct. So we will move the Watt Bike Atom into position so that you can find your correct position. So if I just rest, hands down, forward. Okay, there, boom, I'm hitting the heel of the hand. Because your arms and hands should be coming onto the bike and just relaxing. Okay, they shouldn't have to be over gripping. Okay, they shouldn't have to be reaching out, because this is changing the way you sit in your saddle and it's giving you a numb ass. This is the way that your chin's coming all the way up here. Okay, stems. Now here's a little trick about stems. Everybody's got one. Yeah, you've got one in your bike, but some of your friends, or your so-called virtual friends, they've got them lying about their garage. You can bring that reach in. Do it, please do it. I would rather that your bike was in a good reach so that you were on it more, so that you can go faster on the flat, so you can go faster, okay, when you're in that group ride. And that's what we're going to do in today's video. So ask a friend, hey, have you got a stem, 80 millimeters? I need to bring in, because you can work it out and you can bring them in. Get those hoods. Don't be bringing your hoods all the way up. That's a different video. Because look, this video has arrived here for you to watch because people in my community wanted to have it. They requested it. I've got a link you can follow, okay, in the description, and you might be the person that creates the new video. Titles, pains you've got, problems you've got, videos you want to see. I'll do them for you. All you got to do is click on that link, check out the titles, vote on some of them, or create your own title. It's that easy. In the next video, I might be giving you a shout out and talking about the problem you've got. Okay, stems, fix the length of the reach. You ready to get into point number 3? Because point number 3 is where all the magic is, okay? This is what's going to make you quicker. So what we're going to talk about now is that jumbo, not limbo. So when a lot of people come to me and saying, oh coach, I saw this beautiful aero bike online and I so desperately wanted it, but holy shit, I can't reach the bars. I can't, it's so low. What am I going to do? Well, nothing. You've bought it now. Just because something looks sexy doesn't mean it's going to be fast. Look, in mathematical terms, your body's always going to be 80% of the drag. The drag when you're outside, the wind hitting you, okay? Now, I'm not talking about aerodynamics, it is important, but your body is the biggest drag factor, always will be. And this is the bike fitter's triangle between the handlebars and your head. Okay, so I never slam. Why is it everybody wants to slam their stem? Oh yeah, when you're young, that's good. But the thing is, I always stack it up. I'll play around with it, and I advise you to do the same, because jumbo, bigger, is better. And it's always been this way. And I'm always fascinated now when people say, oh, I see some time trialists doing this now. Okay, it is mind-blowing when you actually look back and you see the gap between the head and the handlebars in some of the 1980s, 1990s, 2000s even, time trial positions. But higher is better. Why? Because we want to make a smaller frontal load that hits the air. Let's look at the triangling and how we make this work. So I would always suggest that you have the stack up maximum, okay? So for me, I know exactly where it goes on this. So if I bring it up to there, okay? This is where we're going to use our camera. And this is the real clever one. This is where you're going to get really scientific. You're going to put yourself in a wind tunnel. No, I'm not going to ask somebody to come in with a vape and blow over the top of you. That's a bloody brilliant idea. That could be another video. What we're going to do is you will set up your video, your camera, and you'll set it up in front of you in a position whereby it's going to capture you. Because this is really important, because what you're going to do is when you get on your bike and you set it up, you only need about 20 seconds, 30 seconds of footage. What we're looking to do is to now decrease the size of the triangle, but rather than going lower so that your head stays in the same position, we bring the hands higher so our head tucks down and we decrease the triangle. Because guess what's the widest part of your body? Your shoulders. Not your big ass, your shoulders, okay? We try and tuck them in and we round them in, and you'll see people try and do this. We decrease the efficiency of the diaphragm, okay? So everything starts, saddle position, nice and sexy. Yeah, I'm all comfortable. I'm not actually comfortable right now. Give me a second. Okay, right, so we're nice and comfortable. Come forward. Boom. I'm nice and relaxed, okay? Look at that. Look what I can do here. Yeah, I could paint a fucking picture. I could write a letter. Here, now in this position, what I'm able to do is get my hands and my head much closer. So rather than away down here, whereby I've got a bigger triangle, because I'm not as flexible as I was when I was 44, 34, 24. Oh my God, when did I get 54? And what we want to do is video this position. Okay, and we're going to get this triangle position, right? And here's what you're going to do with the footage. Just create a backdrop of grids, and you count the grids that you fill up as a person, as a triangle. It's that simple. I've used this method so many times with people. And what you're trying to do is to decrease the triangle, make it smaller. And that happens sometimes by coming up even higher, okay? And getting into this position. And when you're in that position, I mean, the difference that you will feel, especially into headwinds, is incredible. And we will dial into that position and we'll get used to it and used to it. And it's a game changer. You're giving yourself a professional style setup and you will come back to it and come back to it. So each month you will take the little video and you will look at yourself and you will see how much space you fill up on your backdrop. You could do it against a white wall. You can actually create silhouettes. It's that easy, but I want you playing around with it. Now, there is a caveat to this, and you're gonna know what it is, aren't you? Come on, have you guessed it yet? Where's the big problem that I've not mentioned? I mentioned it in lots of other videos. Come on, I can hear you screaming at me. The width of your bars. If the width of your bars doesn't meet the width of your shoulders, it's game over because you're gonna be outside. So you're creating a huge big win factor. Why do the pros have such narrow bars, coach? Because they're racing in huge groups and the handlebars are wider, so they interfere with other riders. They catch them, they go down. So they're sometimes narrower than what their shoulders are. You just need to be a chromium process to a chromium process. Okay? Because guess what? The bike companies don't give a shit about you. And a lot of guys who are riding medium and bigger bikes are on 42s or 44s, where most of them probably need to be on 40s or even 38s. Get the bars fixed. But that could be something later, once you've played around with your sizing. Because once you get the bars to the correct width, oh my God, you're gonna be quick. So you are. What was that little tip you mentioned, coach, about if I go indoors, I can go a little bit quicker? Super simple. Time trial bike that I've got here, we'll save that for another video and we'll do that. But remember, why can we get more power in the time trial bike? Because the fore aft of the saddle to the bottom bracket, the setback is different, a lot different. And some bikes, some pros have 100 millimeters, 10 centimeters different. So by bringing the saddle forward, we get into a much more aggressive roll position, whereby we can use greater torque through the pedals. What happens if you move it forward? You gotta move it up. You move it forward 5, move it up 5. Move it forward 7, move it up 7. Do it 1 to 1 until you get that nice position whereby you're sitting comfortably, okay, on the saddle and pedaling. But then when you lean forward, okay, on those big efforts, oh, you're going to get more power. And another little tip, when you're doing it, let's say you're doing it in a virtual event, you've got your friends, you're all racing for money. What you want to do is to make sure you come into the drops. Why is that, coach? There's no aerodynamic gains when I'm indoors. Look, when we're torquing forward and we come into the drops, what we can do is we can use the pull effect, okay? So that pull effect, laws of physics, yes, it really does help. You really torque. And then when you get into recovery phase, come up. One diaphragm sits at the bottom of the ribs. You come up, you can sit up. Breathe through your nose, out through your mouth, and relax, because you're not overreaching. Yeah, overreaching causes so much damage to cycling. If you're still here and you've not subscribed, what the hell are you doing? Huh? You're still here. You've not subscribed. Oh, come on, man. That's one way to get quick, with a professional touch. You want another? I'll see you in the next video how strength training is going to take you to new levels. Yeah, because most cyclists are failing without strength training. You keep spinning, keep smiling. I'll see you in a second or two.